guys. My iPad. I don't know if it's gonna download. Oh, I don't know if it's gonna download. So I'm just gonna shout her out in the description. She got it from somebody else, and then she added on. Okay, the person who did it had the questions. She added on her own questions, and then I'm gonna add on a question of my own at the end. So it might get a little bit confusing, but we should be fine. I'm excited to do some wrap-ups and tell you guys about my year in books. So far I have read 34 books this year. 36 books this year. My bad. That's my current status of June 20th, 2024. I go to my notes app because I wrote down all these things in here for you guys to remember. So there are 11 questions. The other girl added a couple, and then she added a couple, and then I'm adding one extra one. There's like almost, let's see, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 questions I'm going to be answering today. So the title says 15 plus questions. I mean, it's correct. It might only be 16, but okay. The first question is the best book that I've read so far this year, and I have 2 answers for that. I have Hidden Pictures by Jason Reguluk, which I read last month actually. This is about a nanny who goes to nanny for a wealthy family in a beautiful neighborhood, and everything seems perfect, but it's not. This is a thriller, and it was actually, I gave it 5 stars. This is by far one of my favorite reads of the year, and I know I just read this in May, but it really was I was reading it so fast, and it was just so good. There was romance, it was just so good. There were twists and turns, and everything was great. Also, sorry if the camera is wiggling on my bed, so if I move, the camera does too a little bit, so that's a little bit odd. I need to get like a flat surface for next time. But yeah, so Hidden Pictures, Jason Reguluk, and The Library at Mount Char by Scott Hawkins. This book is like every single genre. It's like fantasy, it's like romance, drama, thriller, horror. It's so good. I'll give you the description that I got before I read it. I feel like this is the one best read if you don't know much about what's happening or what will happen, or like the synopsis. So I will say this. These children their dad is God, and their dad goes missing. So what happens when God goes missing? They try to find him, but each individual kid has their own library that they're in charge of. One is like health, the other is like languages, like animals, and they are told not to share information with each other no matter what happens. So basically, a lot of triggers in this book. It's very graphic, so if you are sensitive to being triggered by things, look up the trigger warnings. But if you aren't, I would say don't, because it might spoil some things for you. So that's all I'll say on this one. I love this book. These books were both 5-star reads for me, and I will love them forever. These are great books. Alright, the best sequel I read so far this year. I haven't really read any sequels, but I decided to choose this book for it because it is a part of like a interwoven world. It's Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez, which is part of Your World Book 3. Interconnected stories. It's not really a sequel or anything, but it's a part of the world. And this one is a romance book about Emma and Justin. Oh, I got it right. Okay. Every single person that they date, once they break up, finds their soulmate and they get married. And so Justin posts on Reddit and is like, says that, and Emma's like, oh my god, me too. And then it's basically just goes from there. It's really, really fun. It's like found family. It's like this book every time I get back to my sister's apartment. It's just such a good book. So good. It's a little long too. It's like 380. But love this book. Okay, and the new releases I want to read for the rest of the year. I actually just went on a new release hunt thing. I don't have these books, but I have like 6 or 7 of them I want to tell you about. So there's Cuckoo by Gretchen Felker Martin, which is about, I think, a conversion therapy camp, and these queer teenagers go there, but they come home and they're not really acting right. Like, they're not. Something's off. So I would read that one. These are also very loose descriptions because I don't really know what exactly they're all about because I haven't read them. So that's Cuckoo by Gretchen Felker Martin. Then there's Swiped by L.M. Chilton. That is about a girl who is going on dates with men from a dating app, and every single man she goes on a date with dies or is murdered. So they think that she's murdering people, but she has to clear her own name, so she has to go find out who is actually murdering these men. So that one seems fun. Cinema Love by Jai-Ming Chang sounds also really good. It's about this one I might get incorrect. I meant to include this one in my queer reads video, but I don't know, I forgot to add to the list. But it's about these 2 men. I could be completely wrong, but 2 men who used to work at or go to this cinema, which was really a place for closeted gay men to go to get with other closeted gay men. So it was one of those, like, they had wives, but they would come to this place and they could be who they were, and who they wanted to be, and just live their truth in the cinema. And I think it follows 2 men's stories, I think. And then Brat by Gabriel Smith I'm really into. I actually heard about this one because I was scrolling through Instagram around the time where Brat by Charlie XCX came out. I adore that album. But I was scrolling and this book named Brat came up, and I was like, Brat, what is this about? And apparently it's about a man who goes home to his family's house after his parents die or something like that, and he has to go through all of their stuff, and there's like ghosts. Like, it's a ghost story. I have no idea, but it sounded really good, so I think I might read that one pretty soon. And then Woodworm by Layla Martin is a short story, and that one's about, I think there's okay, this might be a completely different book, but I think there's a house, and it has like, hold on, let me just go look, because that one, I might have that one up crazy. I might have that one up insane. How do I even get to my shelves, bro? I hate the Goodreads app, it's so confusing. Let's see, where is it? If you guys have anything that you are into or excited to read, or just want to share your stats for your half of the year wrap up, let me know. Okay, I found it. Let me just read it to you. The house breathes. The house contains bodies and secrets. The house is visited by ghosts, by angels that line the roof like insects, and by saints that burn the bedsheets with their halos. It was built by a small-time hustler as a means of controlling his wife, and even after so many years, their daughter and her granddaughter cannot leave. They may be witches, or they may just be angry, but when the mysterious disappearance of a young boy draws unwanted attention, the 2 isolated women, already subject of public scorn, combine forces with the spirits that haunt them in pursuit of something that resembles justice. So, that one sounds really good, and it's only like 124 pages. Just came out in May, so that one sounds really good. I don't think that it's a brand new release, it's a translated book, so it could be just like a re-released translation. So that one I would like to read. There's also The Extinction of Irina Rae by somebody, don't know, but it's about these, I don't know if they're like scientists or something, but they're invited, no, not scientists, they're invited to an island to read this author's book. Let me just go look. I for real cannot trust myself to have what's going on correctly, so let me go find it. Okay, It's by Jennifer Croft, and it is about, okay, it's about 8 translators in their search for a world-renowned author who goes missing in a primeval Polish forest. 8 translators arrive at a house in the forest on the border of Belarus. It belongs to the world-renowned author Irina Rae, but they are there to translate her magnum opus, Great Eminence. But within days of their arrival, Irina disappears without a trace. The translators, who hail from 8 different countries but share the same reverence for their beloved author, begin to investigate where she may have gone while proceeding to work on her masterpiece. They explore the ancient wooded refuge and its intoxicating slime, molds, and lichens, and study her exotic belongings and layered texts for clues. But doing so reveals secrets and deceptions of Irina Rae's that are utterly unprepared for. Forced to face their differences as they grow increasingly paranoid in this fever dream of isolation and obsession, soon the translators are tangled up in a web of rivalries and desires, threatening to not only their work, but the fate of their beloved author herself. So that seems fun. I'm into it. So that's the extinction of Irina Rae. Okay, on to the next cue. Most anticipated release for the second half of the year. Listen, there's a lot of books coming out. There's only one that I've applied to on NetGalley, and I really, really, really want to get the advanced copy. It is The Last One at the Wedding by Jason Rekulek. Now, Jason Rekulek, that name might sound familiar, because this is Jason Rekulek. When I tell you this book was so good. Yeah, and The Last One at the Wedding is about, I think, a dad having to save his daughter from a wedding, like from her in-laws that seem a little odd. I feel like it kind of gives the same vibes as Ready or Not, but like less hide and seek, crazy family, just like crazy in-law core. So yeah, that one sounds really good, and I just love Jason Rekulek. I feel like I will be a supporter of Jason Rekulek through the rest of his career, because I love that book so much. Okay. Biggest surprise. Okay. I'll just say this one, I'll say the other one later. Okay. The biggest surprise was Homes Where the Bodies Are by Geneva Rose. This is another one of last month's reads. I just hated this book so bad. I did not expect it to be so elementary in its writing, and so boring and so dull. So that's my biggest surprise. My other biggest surprise was once again The Library at Mount Char, because it was just so good. I think another surprise I could say, sorry, I don't know what that sound is. I feel like another surprise I could say is Julia Fox's memoir, because I did not expect her to be such a witty and good writer. So I love Julia Fox's memoir. That's another 5-star book for me this year. Okay, favorite new author or debut or new to you. So my favorite debut author, once again, you guys are gonna get sick of me, but it's Jason Rekulek. I feel like, I don't think this is his first book ever. I think he did children's books before this, but I loved this book, and like I said, I'm so excited for more of his work. And then another one of the really promising debut authors, I guess there's a few here. Julia Bartz did great. I love this book, The Writing Retreats, about girls who go to, look how many times I tapped it. These girls go to a mansion for like a writing thing with their favorite horror author, and things start to go crazy. It's so good. It's a horror book. And then I feel like I'll just shout out all of the debut authors that I read that I liked. Powerless by Lauren Roberts. This one, she's literally my age. I will say though, I don't think this book is 5 stars anymore, because I've had more time to think about it. Even though, look how much I tapped it. I loved reading it, but I don't think I can fairly give it 5 stars, because it notched it to a 5-star. So I'm kind of changing my rating on this one, but it's pretty long. It's like 470 pages. I read it in like 3 days. Loved it. That's pretty quick for me. And then I don't think that's her debut. Whatever. I also loved Perfume and Pain by Anna Dorn. This might not be her debut, but she's new to me. Let's go see if this is her first book. Okay, let's see. Anna Dorn, what are you rocking with, lady? Okay, yeah, this is not her first book at all, but I loved it. So, another book for this month's book, a June book. That one's great. It's about a lesbian author trying to make her way after a cancellation. It's so funny. I just love literary fiction about like unhinged women. It's great. And then another favorite. Let's go see here. That's it. Okay, my newest fictional crush. This isn't really book related, but I logged it. I logged the screenplay of this movie, so I'll just say it. My newest fictional crush is Art Donaldson. That is my man. I told you shirt that has his name on the inside. Like he wrote it in. I got it from Etsy. It's so cute and so good. I'll enter the picture right here. I love Art Donaldson. I love challengers. Anyway, book that made me cry. I don't know where this book is in my collection. Usually I have it, but whatever. I think I might left it at my apartment back in my college town, so I don't have it right now. But Bright Young Woman by Jessica Knoll it didn't make me cry. I don't really cry at books, but it did make me feel very like heavy. Like it made me feel a lot of emotion. So that one is really good. That one's a fictional retelling of Ted Bundy's killing spree that he went on at the campus in the sorority, and it shows it through the perspective of the woman. So it's just a very emotional book and a very powerful book. I just loved how it kind of stripped him of all of his power, because in the trial they kind of just talk about Ted Bundy and like, oh, Ted did this, but they never really focus and center on the victims themselves. So that was really nice to see something showcasing the victim and the girls and how they were actually bright young women, because during the trials somebody called Ted Bundy a bright young man, but it's like he killed all these people, so like, why are you calling him that? Because Ted Bundy was wooing everybody, and everybody loved him, so it was kind of upsetting for the survivors of the attack. So yeah, I flipped it on its head. That was really good. Another book that made me very emotional was Powerless. Some things happened in the ending, and I was like, no. But that's that one. Okay, and then we have book that made me happy. Once again, you guys. Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez made me very, very, very happy. Like I said, I was up. It felt like I was reading a fan fiction. I was up at like 3 a.m. while everybody was asleep. And I swiped through my phone reading it, because I get the money as archive on my phone, so I can tap in wherever. But I was reading it and I was like, oh my goodness. It's just, I had the biggest smile on my face. It was so good. I highly recommend this one. And then all these books, if you want to hear in-depth reviews for how I felt about all of them, except for my June books. So, Perfume and Pain, I haven't recorded one about yet, and I think that's it from the stack. But if you want to hear my in-depth reviews, they're all in my monthly wrap-ups, so if you want to hear that. And then most beautiful book I've bought this year is going to have to go to Miss Chelsea G. Summers for A Certain Hunger. I just adore this cover. Like, it's so good. Yeah, I love this book. It's just so good. I love when women kill men. Not women kill women. The fuck? When women kill men, especially in creative ways, like in this book. I'll talk more about this one in a second, but that's my answer for most beautiful book I bought so far. I really like this one. I really like else we got? What book? What books do I need to read by the end of the year? For that, I just said so many. There's so many books. I have like maybe 800 books on my TBR. Not gonna get through all of those, but I think every single day I add 5 books to my digital TBR. So there's a lot of books that I need to read before the year is out. I do want to get to ones that I already have on my TBR. I kind of really want to read Funny Story by Emily Henry. I've been putting that one off. I really want to finish my whole physical TBR, but I don't think that's gonna happen. So, you know, you get what you get. Book that I want to reread this year. Once again, A Certain Hunger by Chelsea G. Summers. When I first started this book, I wasn't loving it. I was like, it's kind of slow. The text is tiny. Sorry to you guys. Like, the margins aren't that big. It's kind of just like, I don't know, I wasn't into it. Because when I first started reading it, I didn't realize that it was written like a memoir, but like a fictional memoir. So basically, let's see, is this okay, yeah, I don't want to spoil, so I won't say that, but it's like a memoir kind of written in a memoir kind of way, Jesus. And it's about a woman who is a food writer, and she loves food very, very much, and she loves sex also, but she also loves killing men. She likes having a lot of lovers. She likes killing them in fun ways, and she likes using their body, their meat, to create nice dishes. She'll tell you what wines to pair with tendon, like what, probably not tendon, that's probably gross, but like what wines to prepare with like ribs, but not like ribs from a cow, ribs from a man. So it's just really fun. I really enjoy it. But I really want to reread it because I wasn't loving it when I first was reading it. But then I read it and I was just obsessed with the prose. I loved everything about it. And I don't know. I really want to revisit this book. This is the only book I've been thinking about coming back to the entire year, because I read this in February? Probably January. But I loved it. But yeah. Sorry, I started reading it. Okay, that's that one. There's so many books all around me. A book I enjoyed with mixed reviews. I only read so many books, so I can only talk about so many, so you might see some repeats. The books I'm not talking about honestly didn't really make an impact, or I loved them, and they don't fall in any of the categories. Powerless Again by Lauren Robert. There's a lot of mixed reviews, but I love this book. But like I said, it's kind of copy and paste from a lot of other popular books in the genre from the past 10 or so years, 12, 15 or so years. So that's why people have mixed reviews. People hate it, but I loved it. So the banter is so good in this. The romance was so good. What does this say? If this turns throupley, I'm killing everyone. I mean, that's valid. I hate a throuple, unless it's challengers. But yeah, I do hate a throuple when it could just be so easy. It could be so easy. You like him, he likes you. Okay, fuck. But no. I kind of like this guy, but he's so nice to me. I can't not shut the fuck up. Sorry. But yeah. Sorry. Maybe I'll go through and read out my tabs in some of my books. I kind of stopped tabbing because, like, these books don't serve my tabs, low-key. Like, not even that. That sounds very bitchy. I don't mean it like that. These authors take a lot of time writing these books, but what the fuck am I gonna write in it? Like, I literally wrote a thing about a throuple. this is a good quote. She is the embodiment of a bad decision, the twin of danger and desire, the fine line between deadly and divine, and I can feel myself drowning. How dramatic and cunt is that? Love it. Let's see what else we got. I don't remember what color I had for what. Oh, this is a romance one. Okay, whatever, enough of that. So, there's that one. Do I think I'll reach my reading goal? And am I gonna change it? I actually already reached my reading goal. My reading goal was 25 books, but I've obviously read 36, so I upped it to 75. Will I reach 75 books? We'll see. We'll see. 36 times 2 is what? 72. So if I read 36 more books at this rate, then I should reach it, but I think I will. There's so many short stories I can just read. You guys know how that goes. But also, okay, 2 more questions. What books did I DNF this year? There is The Big Sleep by Raymond Chandler, which I don't have these books because I just didn't back the books that I didn't like because I don't need to move them across country to my house. It's not cross country, it's cross state. Okay, Big Sleep by Raymond Chandler. That one takes place in one day. It was too descriptive, like too many, like it took too much time explaining what I was seeing. It's like, okay, I get it, like no more. And then it's about like people showing up to this house complex on the day of this lady's birthday party, and they're trying to like kill people. I have no idea. And then the birthday party by Laurent Montagnier, which was, I don't know, it just started too fast. It just threw me into it, and it didn't build anything. So I was like, what the fuck are we talking about? Like, why do I care? What is the issue? And why did we write this book? It was literally just like, I show up to the people's place to be their private investigator. Here I go. I'm like, okay, why are you a private investigator? Why are you at this person's house? Or the people and the characters were just all over the place. I didn't like that one very much. And then we have this one, The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo. I read about 35% of this book. And it was just so fucking boring. But I told you guys this, so yeah, way too boring. Couldn't think of what I was gonna say, so I just said boring. Yes, that's those ones. And then biggest disappointments of the year. This one goes without saying, really. Lolita, this book is just a disappointment in itself. It just makes me angry that it exists, really. My tabs in this book are like things that I thought were so gross that I wrote like, this is so traumatizing. I cannot believe this is happening. And I can't believe I finished this because I couldn't even finish The Familiar, but over here reading this. Like, girl, let's be serious. This was before I started DNFing stuff. So, I already stopped. I put a year of space between when I started it and when I picked it back up. So, yeah, I should have just left it down. But this one was a big disappointment. This was a big disappointment. Way too slow. Not as fun as I thought it was going to be. And it was, I don't know, very just, I felt like I was trudging through it. And it's about a house that's like magical, and there's like weird things about the house. It was like a paranormal sci-fi. There's like an underworld that you reach through the house. It's like, oh, it seemed like it would have been a lot of fun, but it was not. It took so much effort to get through. Another disappointment. Annie Bot. Love you, Annie. I loved this cover, but it was just so boring. Once again, I was like, this is all we're gonna talk about. And then, like I just said, The Familiar was a disappointment. This one on the floor, I don't know why I picked it. I didn't grab it, but Beautiful World War Are You by Sally Rooney. Nothing happened. I was like, okay, girl, enough. And Eileen by Atasa Moshfegh. Not great at all, actually. It was so boring. It was like if a book was just about like a girl, but an uninteresting one, and that was the whole book. Like, oof. It's about like Janice from finance. Like, we do not care about her story. I mean, we do. It's her story, you know. We love her story, but like, if she would have done something like really impactful, I would have been like, let's read this girl's story. But she didn't do anything but be dirty and gross and uninspiring and inspired. So that one I didn't like. Did I say Acts of Desperation by Megan Nolan? That was just boring. It was like, okay, we're dating this guy, we hate this guy, we're still dating this guy though, and we still hate this guy. So sick. Also, Almost Where the Bodies Are. Another disappointment. Unless I just said that. And yeah, not to end it on a sour note, but I guess I can talk about this book too, actually, because disappointment. Hold on. Another disappointment was what I just read this month, which I will talk about more in depth in my June thing. But The Only One Left by Riley Sager was also a pretty big disappointment. Way too many twists and turns. The twists weren't believable. It wasn't even like it made sense. Like, it was just he was saying stuff, and I started getting lost in the plot twist. I was like, wait, so which one is true? What are we talking about? So yeah, I've never read a book where I was like up all night turning the pages until I got 20 pages away from the end, and then I had to put the book down. That's, there was way too much going on. So yeah. But that is everything. So that's my mid-year wrap up. It's getting dark, so hopefully the video quality isn't bad, but yes, thank you guys so much for watching. Like and subscribe. We're at like what, 960? We're almost at 1,000 subscribers. We're at 1,000. I'll do something special for you. Don't hold me to that. I don't know what to do. So maybe we'll have a mukbang, like a cake eating for 100 subscribers. That could be fun. Let me know what you guys want to see. I'm going back to one video a week, unfortunately, because I started a new job and I had a lot of time at the beginning of summer, but now I don't have any time anymore. So now I'm just doing one video a week again.